All right, well, Aliyah Boston, thank you so much for making the long trek to WTHR here, downtown Indianapolis, going into year 3 for you here in the WNBA. Kind of crazy. Is that crazy?
It's kind of crazy to think how fast time is going. I was actually just saying that. Like, I can't believe this is my 3rd year.
Aliyah Boston just sent shockwaves through the WNBA in a new interview, and it's not just what she said, it's what it means for the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark might be the most talked about rookie in years, but what Boston revealed could change how fans and opponents see this team. Caitlin Clark entered the league with the kind of hype.
Okay, now we come out, we have to be ready to compete, but we also know that, listen, if things aren't going our way, then we have a coach at the helm who knows how to adjust.
We haven't seen in women's basketball since Diana Taurasi. From sold-out arenas to massive TV ratings, she's already reshaping the WNBA landscape. But with hype comes pressure and questions. Can she handle WNBA-level defense? Can she mesh with veterans? Most importantly, can she win? Enter Aliyah Boston, the former #1 pick and last season's Rookie of the Year. In a recent interview, Boston opened up about her experience playing alongside Clark.
Well, how was the offseason for you? There's a lot going on with the team, a lot going on with the WNBA, women's sports in general. How was the offseason for you?
Offseason was great. I was able to participate on Rivals, so I was super excited about that. And kind of just looking at our team in general, all the changes we made. It has been a lot. It's been super fast, but I think they've all just been super exciting moves for us. And I'm excited to get the season started because I think we have so much talent.
And what she said stunned the league. Instead of brushing off the rookie, Boston praised Clark's attitude, work ethic, and leadership. That kind of endorsement? It matters, especially coming from the face of the franchise. Since joining the league, Clark has faced
Yeah, you mentioned it right there. It felt like there was 1 week, maybe a month, maybe more ago, that it was just like bang, bang, bang. Someone else new coming to the team via trade, via free agency. All really valuable pieces. Winning experience with those additions as well. What do you make of the newcomers on this team and how everyone will gel together after such a promising year last year?
And scrutiny. Every missed shot, every turnover, every loss, it's all magnified. But Boston's comments tell a different story. Inside the locker room, Clark isn't just surviving. She's earning trust. Boston's words cut through the noise, pushing back on the media's Clark versus veterans narrative and replacing it with something far more dangerous to the rest of the league, unity. And it's not just Clark and Boston anymore. The Fever has added serious firepower. Natasha Howard, a former Defensive Player of the Year, and Dawana Bonner, a seasoned scorer, add a new head coach in Stephanie White, who's already shifting the team's culture, and suddenly, Indiana looks like a real threat. Not just a rebuilding project, a contender. Boston's interview wasn't just about praising Clark.
I think when you look at who we've brought in and who is still here, I think what really helps us and excites us the most is that we win. We win a lot. Coming from winning programs just in general and being able to put this together, I think it's going to be super exciting. Like every time we get on the court and we're practicing or if we're playing pickup, we're like, I can't wait to get the season started. Like we are going to just play so well.
It was about setting the tone. It told the league, we're not divided. We're locked in. In a league where chemistry can make or break a season, that kind of statement from your leader is everything. Aliyah Boston shocked the league not with controversy, but with clarity. She shut down the noise, uplifted her teammate, and put the WNBA on notice. Forget the
being able to have so many different options on the floor, anyone coming off the bench, just being ready to be that heavy hitter and make an impact.
Yeah, deep team, right?
Yes.
Too, it feels like no lineup, there's no drop-off. Excited are you for the Fever, just this season and as far as your team is concerned, but just to carry that momentum forward as people continue to realize how high level women's basketball is, women's sports are, and just the excitement around this season and the WNBA in general.
We're going to ride the momentum. We're going to ride the wave. I think there's no way you don't. You know, there's so much eyes, there's so much energy, there's so much attention. It's like every time you step on that floor, you want to play your best because you know there's so many people watching. And it's not just for you. It's for the little kids that continue to dream of being where you are and be like, oh my gosh, they're my favorite players. And the fans that continue to watch, it's like you want to continue to show them, like, listen, we come out here, we compete not just for ourselves, but for you guys because you guys pour so much attention, so much love on this Fever squad. And so we just have to be ready to compete every single.
Also, part of the newness of this season, and it feels like it's kind of hitting a crescendo, right, as we are only a month away. But head coach Stephanie White, new to town, not really new to town, new maybe for you, but what has that relationship been like in kind of the Stephanie White regime here going forward?
It's been great. I think Steph has just done a great job ever since she got the job of just communicating. I remember within the first few weeks that she had the job, we were watching film about how she wanted me to be able to play, what she thinks of the team, what she wants our goal to be once the season starts, where we want to end. And I think for me, that's super important because even though it feels like I've been in the league for quite some time, this is only my third year, and being able to learn from a coach that you've been able to see, especially being able to play against her and seeing the way that she coaches, the way that she makes adjustments, is super.
Against her in the probably most important series of your career, right, in the first round last season. What did you take away from going up against her? That maybe you're like, oh, great, she's on my side now, and we can use this to our advantage.
Yeah, when we played against Connecticut, Steph, her adjustments, the way she started off the game, I remember there were times where we were playing, and I was like, did they mean to do this? And then you come back again the second possession, and they really did mean to do that. And it's something that we didn't think about, and coming in, it's like, okay, well, now we have to have played you guys 3-4 times. Now we're going to the playoffs, and they still bring something new to the table. So to be on that side, it's super exciting because I think, once again, we have so much talent on our squad. We're going to be going up against all these teams that in the offseason also made adjustments, also have just great, talented, flat-out hoopers. So it's like, okay, now we come out, we have to be ready to compete, but we also know that, listen, if things aren't going our way, then we have a coach at the helm who knows how to adjust.
What was Steph's message just in her first team meeting?
Unity. I think that was the biggest thing. We talked about it earlier, even in this, is the outside noise. And so for her, it's about sticking together, making sure that we are a tight unit, that nothing can poke holes in between what we have going, because that's one way to go down, and we don't want to go down. Just by how we operate with each other off the court, how we are on the court, I think being able to be selfless is another thing that we talked about in the team meetings, like giving up a good shot for a great shot. And I think that's just super important because when you get in games, you never know when your number is going to be called to hit that big shot, and being able to trust each other to be able to do it is going to be important.
You mentioned there's so much talent on this team. There's so much excitement revolving around this, the new additions, the core, you, Caitlin, Kelsey, getting Kelsey back. That's obviously huge for this group. What is it, you kind of were the hunters last year. You were young, you're exciting, and really ended the season on a high note. Do you feel that transition, or is it too early to say that you're maybe the hunted at this point? Is there still a lot to prove with this group? What's the goal going in? What do you want to see, the expectations, everything like that, with all the talent that you keep mentioning?
Expectations to win.
Yeah.
That is it, flat out. I think every single time we play, every time we step on the floor, people are going to want to beat the Fever. And I know last year it didn't start off that way for us, but as you said, halfway through the season, that switch was flipped. And it was like, you didn't want to see us on your schedule. And I think we're going to take that momentum going. I think having a fresh start, in a sense, has been really great for us. I think just being able to practice and work out the way that we have been, I think it really shows what we're capable of. And so I'm excited to get started. The main thing, for us, it's about winning, making sure that we continue to protect our locker room and don't let outside noise get in. And I think last year was a great start to that. And to be able to do it this year, I feel like we already know what's to come. Just by how we operate with each other off the court, how we are on the court, I think being able to be selfless is another thing that we talked about in the team meetings, like giving up a good shot for a great shot. And I think that's just super important because when you get in games, you never know when your number is going to be called to hit that big shot, and being able to trust each other to be able to do it is going to be important for us. Things in that area was just getting to know and getting to play with Caitlin. I think Caitlin plays such a fast-paced game, and for me, I feel like the year before that, it wasn't as fast, and then coming in kind of having that same expectation of the way that we played the year before, and then coming in and Caitlin loves to play really fast, so I think that was definitely the adjustment. But I think knowing that and having that mindset just helped in the offseason because I know exactly where I need to be.
With the momentum of not only the WNBA at large, but the All-Star game, I feel like so many eyes were on it last season.
I think the energy is going to be so much higher because it's an indie. I feel like I say this every time about the fans that support women's basketball, that support sports in general, the attention that the Fever has been getting. I think no one wants to pass up a chance to see all the best athletes playing against each other in the same place. Sometimes it's hard for other people to be able to travel and catch other games of their favorite players, but to have it right here in your backyard, I think it's going to be truly amazing. Mentally, I've experienced most growth being able to play unrivaled. I think has just boosted my confidence a little bit, not really second guessing myself on shots that I know I can make, and just being confident and knowing like it's okay if you miss one, you can still take the next one with the same level of confidence. And so that's kind of my mindset going into this season, is just continue to be confident and trust my game because of the work and effort that I put in. It's always been the same. For me, it's about being who I am, not changing who I am. And I think people are able to just, I attract just that great energy, I think, and not bragging on myself. But I feel like just because the way that I approach everyone, I always want to make sure everyone's smiling. And I feel like when that's your approach, make sure that everyone's good. It's so easy to build that relationship because you just get comfortable with each other really quickly.
Aliyah, I saw that the team made a promotional film at Madam Walker Theater on
Yes.
Indiana Avenue. What's that mean in terms of significance with the Fever aligning with that historic site?
Yeah, I think it's special. Not only like you think of everyone that support the Fever, but being able to tie in that to a historic site like that, I think is super special. And it just once again shows the bond that between sports and women's sports and the whole city of Indiana is really capable of.
Drama. The Indiana Fever are here, and they're coming together. What do you think? Can Clark and Boston lead Indiana to the playoffs this year? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more WNBA coverage.